within the Ministry of Energy and in the country generally, in terms of its mandate of providing reliable, adequate, and affordable energy, okay? And therefore playing the role of an enabler to sustainable economic growth and development. In recognition of this very critical role of Kenya Power, today I made my inaugural visit to Steamer Plaza, where Kenya Power is seated, I'm sure you know. And I had a meeting with the board of directors, led by the chairman, Madam Masinde. Okay? The directors and the senior management team led by the managing director, Mr. Siror. And later on, I had a chance also to address employees, a number of them. Okay? And thereafter, again, I had a chance, together with my team, including the PS, to visit the National Customer Call Center at Steamer Plaza before we drove to this National Control Center in Dandora, as a way of getting understanding of what goes on. The board of directors and management, of course, appraised me on the Kenya Power and Lighting Company's 5-year strategic plan, complete with its current level of implementation. This was meant to help me appreciate the company's work and its alignment of strategies, policies, projects, and programs in support of various national, county, and sectoral strategies, policies, and programs. Now, the engagement also delved on the various challenges experienced, which are normal, I'm sure you know, which are experienced by the institution, and legislative, policy, and operational initiatives that have been put in place or over which they are seeking support from other government agencies and departments to enable it to address them in a manner that resonates well with the aspirations and expectations of various stakeholders, and especially the consumers of Kenya Power product, which is electricity. As the interface between the ministry and the energy sector generally, and the consumers or the customers, okay, in the entire value chain, expectations of the government and key stakeholders put a very high demand on Kenya Power, its board, management, and staff, to ensure that their strategies, policies, processes, internal culture, and practices remain ethical, effective, and customer responsive, in a manner geared towards meeting and if possible, exceeding these stakeholders' expectations. The government, therefore, has reiterated its desire and commitment to the reform of strategic sagas, including KPLC, and for KPLC in particular, in order to transform it into an agile, technology adaptive, eco-friendly, ethical, and responsive, customer-centric institution, playing a leading role in the country's vision of transiting to total green energy by the year 2030, in line with our Vision 2030 agenda, which I'm sure you are all conversant with. And of course, whilst I noted and commended the board and the management team and staff for the good work so far done. They're doing an excellent job, both at Steamer Plaza and in the field, including this National Control Center. I did direct the board as a matter of urgency, and of course senior management, to embark on institutional reform pathway and report back to the ministry on a number of areas, which I will just summarize. Okay. One is on the area of improvement on operational efficiency, liquidity, and balance sheet to strengthen the institution and take it back to sustainable profitability. That we agreed, and we got very, very practical steps that the management and the board are going to take, and are taking already actually, towards that goal. Two is the implementation matrix, covering key projects and interventions with major impacts on the reduction of cost of energy to end users in the short and medium term. This matrix, of course, will include project challenges, resource requirements, timelines for completion, accountability, and expected outcomes. Three is on the area of technical and commercial loss reduction strategy, with timelines to reduce the current loss levels, which you know is about 24%. We are thinking if it can bring it down to the allowable level of 19.5% or thereabout, within 3 years, it will be fine. A report on technical, operational, human capital capacity of not just the National Control Center, but of the entire organization. Now, we did agree on that, because as you know, this is a very, very sensitive and strategic institution that requires to be optimally staffed. It requires to be resourced optimally at all times. So we agreed that we shall look at the gaps where they exist and what measures we can take to fill those gaps. Okay. There's also number 5, which is the issue of customer service improvement strategy. We took quite some time at the call center. And I was impressed, by the way, by the kind of infrastructure that we have in place. I'm sure a number of you are aware of the Kenya Pan Lighting call number, star
977 hash.
Star 977 hash. Or if you call directly, you just call 9771. And they will capture whatever issues or concerns you have. And they will cascade them to the relevant officers and persons, and they will be attended to by those responsible officers. We want actually to have that system reinvigorated and to have that process of engagement with the public made more efficient with time. Okay? And if it means employing more resources or deploying more resources, we have to do so, so that the customer or the people remain at the center of our strategy, through and through. And number 6, it was the issue of supply chain and logistics strategy that would address the supply of critical materials and equipment at every stage. And I'm here referring to equipment and materials such as transformers, electricity poles, electricity meters, and so on and so forth. Cables and what have you. So that at every instance, the supply and stocks of this equipment and materials meet the demand. Meet the demand with a possible reserve. Okay? I have addressed the issue of the human capital. I don't want to reiterate it or belabor the point. And of course, there are areas where we agreed that the Kenya Power will continue to engage with sister companies such as KETRACO, especially on the area of shedding off some of the transmission functions and infrastructure to KETRACO. Okay? So, all in all, we had a very, very, very fruitful engagement, right from Steamer Plaza, the call center, customer call center, and now the National Control Center here in the north. And I am confident that these measures that we've agreed upon with the board and management of Kenya Power, if implemented to the fullest possible extent, will have a very, very positive impact in terms of the capacity of the institution to deliver on its mandate, to execute its mandate for the benefit of the people. But going forward, we will be seeing more and more focus on the customer. In other words, Kenya Power has committed to enhance its communication processes so that at every one instance, there is that communication between the company and its end users, for the customers. And there's a mechanism for harvesting feedback and acting on the same in a timely manner. Thank you.